So I got up bright and early yesterday morning and went to paint this very familiar scene to me. This is Ruakaka River, quite beautiful with the sun coming up over it. It's very close to my house and a scene that I see just about every day. And here's the sketch. And after about 30-40 minutes painting, I had this done. And then, unfortunately, a big cloud came in. That's an interesting cloud, isn't it? And it brought the rain with it. Yeah, it's quite funny really, because in true artist fashion I was really carried away with the painting and the sky was getting darker and darker and I thought, ooh, that's interesting. And the wind started coming up. Oh, that's a bit of a hassle. I didn't really think about the rain, and then suddenly I thought, hang on, I'm going to get wet here. And that wouldn't normally worry me, except that the oils that I'm using are water mixable oils. So when it starts to rain on them, you get some interesting effects to start with, and then it all washes off. I'd actually ridden my bike there, so I had to pack up as quick as I could, get the bag on my back, the easel, and the painting hanging off my right shoulder, and pedal home as fast as I could, so I didn't end up with more of a watercolor than I was hoping for. And I didn't quite make it on time, but I ended up with this in the studio. So not bad, I thought, for half an hour, 40 minutes. But it needed a lot more work, so I spent about 2 or 3 more hours on it in the studio, probably fiddling a bit more than I usually do. And then I left it overnight and came back to it today and ended up with this. So the one on the top is yesterday, where I left it, and one on the bottom is where it got to today. I guess the biggest change I made was that I intensified the blues over on the left and in some of the shadows in the foreground on the bank there, and that's in order to make the warm light coming from the right to appear even brighter and warmer. So you get that nice contrast between warms and cools. So how does the painting relate to the actual scene? Well, let's have a look at that. Well, my main goal with this painting was to simplify the scene, which had so much information in it, to make the painting easier to read than the scene was. Now, in some respects I've succeeded and in some respects I've failed. I think I succeeded in that whole background plane, which is everything that's behind the big trees, right across the whole painting. I think that has been simplified nicely, and there's that big gradation in colour from blue through to your pinks and mauves through to your yellows, your warms, so cools to warms. I think that's worked really well, but the foreground, I think, that bank on the right, that's really standing out to me as not being as successful as I would have hoped. I did consciously reduce the size of that bank in the original drawing, largely because just that area didn't really appeal to me, and I thought it could be made to look better. In retrospect, I'm not sure if that was such a good idea. It's changed the shape of the river, and I don't know if it's as believable as it might have been if I had stuck with the way that it actually is. I do like that I bumped up the color there, and that's made more of a feature, a focal area for the painting, especially contrast with all those blues over on the left. I always feel like it's a little bit unfair comparing the finished painting with a photograph of the scene, because we all love to play spot the difference and it's so easy to do, but the painting should really stand by itself. So let's have a look at that. It's not too bad. I guess 2 main things that I learned in this painting, or relearned, was that it's a really good idea to simplify the background as much as possible so that all that interest and detail in the foreground really gets to sing, really gets to strut its stuff on the stage, which is simplified behind it. Also, when you're painting a warm, glowing light effect, like looking towards the sun, don't forget to include those cools further out in your painting away from the sun, which help balance that up and create that really beautiful color contrast in your painting. So there's another little piece of my painting brain for you. Hope you found it tasty and nutritious.